touch as the others, but we still want it close to impact the screen and not just let them set it wherever they want. But it's been an emphasis all season long, and it's more, maybe the first one's okay, but when you get into the next one, it's the discipline to get back up there.
Niara status? Seems like she didn't practice today.
No, she had an individual. I mean, she's allowed to get treatment, and the luxury we have a lot of depth at the moment. So we're thinking big picture. We want to make sure that she's feeling 100%, and she feels okay, but it's not forcing back right now.
Fair to say she won't play tomorrow or
I'm
Saturday.
sure
Then?
we'll have a chat after this. Like, she had a good individual before. We just didn't put her in any kind of live stuff today.
Is playing back-to-back out of play or so?
Yeah, I don't know. Back-to-back for Niara?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Until we have a meeting post-training, I really don't know about what it all looks like. But the luxury we have is we have depth. So we got a lot of games coming up, and that depth is going to be needed.
How happy are you just to see Izzy not only contribute for the team, but also I was talking to her, like, this is going to be the first over 500 team she's been on. She's really happy with the environment, just her season kind of as she continues to play well.
It's been great. Like I've drafted Izzy a long time ago. I had to trade her too, so I had that. But she's just a professional, and we came in and just like, okay, we're just adding depth to it. I think she's healthy, she's comfortable, and you see her experience when she's out there. She trusts us. She knows what she can do, and she's been great. Really, we've been really happy with the way she's playing. That I didn't have to go back to JJ at the end of last game because Izzy was doing so well, and both ends of the floor. And that's we have confidence in her. She has confidence in herself, and I think that goes a long way.
Have you started to watch film of Emma and how she might fit, or are you digging back through old ECAT tape to watch how she fits with JJ and Stewie? What are you?
Well, look, I know Emma. So I've coached her. I've coached against Belgium a fair bit, and I think when she chose us, she saw where she could fit because we do play Brianna Stewart at the point guard. So I think they're just playing the right way. We play selflessly like we have been, and we're moving the ball. Emma's going to be Emma, really. So she'll be in pick and rolls and all the stuff that we do, and we'll use her ability as much as we can.
Any questions about JJ's potential availability for the back-to-back?
I think she's good to go. I mean, it was nice. She got into foul trouble, so I had to take her out. So she only played, 23 minutes. I think that's great. I mean, I don't want to, just focus on beating Phoenix. They've beaten us twice, so I think let's try and win these next two. I think that's important for us. But still getting her in and out. She's still getting the conditioning back. I don't want to get it too fatigued because that's when things can happen. But she'll go back to back. I don't know how many minutes she'll survive back to back, but we'll see.
Speaking of Izzy, you spent time with her at Phoenix in her rookie year. You talked to her after the last game. She says the difference between you from back then to now, you're way more assertive now. Is that assessment?
Yeah, no, probably. I mean, I got when I can't even remember when she came in. I'd been there for a few years. I have experienced players, and I think I was assertive there. But with age, you just get way more assertive because my team's probably even better than what I had back then. So back then you probably have to mould them a little bit and encourage them and keep them confident. But yeah, I mean, I'm just an older coach now.
There was a lot of talk in the NBA Finals this year, like, wow, this Thunder Pacers series is some of the most physical basketball we've seen in a long time. And not that the WNBA hasn't long been physical, but some of the playoff series you've played in the last couple of years, do you feel like this league is at a peak or just at a unseen level of just physicality on everything?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're letting things go a little bit more. I mean, last year I think during the year they were calling more. This year, and then in the playoffs, it was no one's blowing anything, which is fine, but you just want consistency. I think that's the biggest thing that we talk about. I don't mind physicality. I'm used to that as a player when I played all around the world because they allow so much to go. But just being fair, if it's illegal, it's illegal. The physicality and like blowing shit up and all that, illegal screens, that should be called. But it's okay, and I like the last game. Indiana were physical against us, and we know that's what teams are going to do. I thought we handled it. We adjusted well in that second half in particular because we're going to get that every single game.
Do you think there's anything specific, like how that might affect this team in terms of pros or cons or things you're good at?
Yeah, look, I think, I think we can handle everything, but it's making sure We play smart, which we did in the second half. The first half, I thought we didn't move the ball, and we didn't, we tried to outbeat them with their toughness, whereas like just play smarter than them with ball movement and our cutting and our spacing, and it takes away. But making sure our defense physicality went up, so that helped us to get out and run and get some easy stuff.
You did have a couple of cards. Sabrina got blown up on a couple of screens, and Leo, we've seen over the last couple of years, she's really aggressive trying to get over. Was that just some movement on the perimeter by the bigs, and was that a point of emphasis that you'd like to see just for protecting players?
Yeah, no, that's the thing. If they're illegal, they're illegal. I mean, sometimes I thought Boston had a few illegal screens in there. Holding it here, getting caught. They weren't getting called. Those ones they annoy me because that's when it can get injuries can happen. But just being fair, I think it's the physicality is fine. You might get a blind pick and you run into it. Okay, that's fine. It's where there's a little bit more tilting inside, and I don't think they're seeing that as much as they should. But as long as it's being consistent, I mean, what can you do? It's when it's inconsistent that annoys me. I don't mind playing tough, but let's do it both sides.
You guys will have to make a roster change if and when Emma comes, right?
Yeah, I suppose we have that decision to make when Emma comes, so
Yeah.
try not to think about that.
I guess, do you message anything to some of the players on the end of your roster right now, or is there something you want to see from them, or have you?
Look,
how do you handle that?
the hardest thing for it's a luxury and it can be a curse, couldn't it? I have so many players that I could play, and it's very hard to play them all. But in the end, it's a team, and we need everyone, and everyone just needs to be ready and know that they're valued, because you just never know. Now we have a full team now, but before we had we're trying to find people to play. But they can just control what they can control and focus on that, and being a good teammate in the process.
It was a DNP the other day for Beck, who's been a big part of you guys recently. Has Steph come in and supplanted her, or did you want to get a look at what Steph offers?
I mean, need to have a look at Steph. We didn't know Emma was coming when we signed Steph, so but you need to have a look at her. We like to play big, strong player here. She only played 4 minutes, so I wouldn't read into that too much. It was matchups. Beck didn't play because Marine was playing well, and Beck hasn't been great on Kelsey Mitchell, so we went with getting the right defenders on our matchups, and just like you guys, we have analytics too, so data.
Tough matchup for you guys the last couple of years, Alyssa Thomas. What makes AT just so singularly difficult to match up against?
Look, I mean, she's so versatile. She's got the ball in her hands a fair bit. She's a great passer, but she can get into seams and finish at the rim. But look, she hasn't had JJ. I think that's probably one of her hardest players to go up against. So I look forward to having JJ out there as well. And but what we can't do is if she's going off, we can't allow everyone else to go off with the scoring. So I think her and Sammy have a really great combination. But now they're at, they lost last night. They're trying to add all these pieces in. It's easier said than done. But we just have to be ready for all of them. But AT, she's just she knows how to be effective without scoring, and she usually gets a triple-double every game.
Well, so they've got the challenges of integrating all these pieces, but then you have the challenges of not having much tape on all these players together. You watched that game last night. What were your takeaways?
Make sure I watched that. That was my evaluation, and we know how they want to play. What they're trying to do. And it's more about, in the end, we have to focus on what we want to do. How do we exploit that? And I think that's the most important thing now. We have respect for them. They've beaten us. They've punked us two games. So. It's an opportunity for us to play better. We weren't at full strength, and neither were they, but JJ is such a big piece for us, and Leo, so happy to have them both back.
Right before you have a couple of big games right
Yeah.
after the break.
I think right now just prepping as much as we can to get ready for this, big road trip. But first we have to get ready for Phoenix and LA. We've gotten reminded quite a bit of times about the past 2 times that we've played them, and we don't want to go out and play like that against Phoenix, who's a really good team right now. So I think our biggest thing today was focusing on defense, and it's really locking in and playing together. We could tell we weren't on the same page defensively as we are now with our games. So yeah, I just want to make sure we're locked in and just take it game by game, day by day.
Did you stay up late watching Phoenix last night?
Me and Tosh watched the games, actually, and we always watch the prior games before we play the team again. So just kind of to give a refresher and sometimes it doesn't help watching other games because teams always play us differently. So I just like to watch our last ones against them.
Saw you were trying to get some good playlist requests. Did you get anything good in the comments?
I got some good stuff. Like, the fans really pulled through on that one. And every now and again, I like to sprinkle something in new. So, like, the songs that they gave us, it just was easy things to just add to the playlist. Yeah.
Emma's not here yet, but between her and Steph, that's two players with history with Sandy that came back. You obviously had history with Sandy and came back. What is it about her that has former players kind of gravitating back to her?
I mean, clearly we loyal to Sandy because we're willing to come back and play for her. But I could just speak for myself. I think Sandy drafted me in 2015, and I had an ACL injury that year. And the following year, I finally went to Phoenix. And when I got there, she just kind of let me figure it out. She knew I was a rookie, and I was playing with some really heavy hitters: Diana Taurasi, Penny Taylor, BG, DeWanda Bada, Candice Free. Like, that year, I just absorbed so much, and I really got to see the leadership style that she likes. So now, 10 years later, that's insane. I can implement it here as a veteran. So I love playing for Sandy. I've always said that. She's a player coach, and she's very serious about what she's doing, but she also understands how the game goes. So I think we just all kind of see that and appreciate that and are willing to play for her.
Has she always been like that, or have you seen her change?
I think she's changed. I think she's a lot more assertive now, or maybe in the group that I had in Phoenix, I think she just kind of let them run the show too, because obviously, like, they're Olympians, so I get why she did that. And again, we have Olympians here, but she definitely implements exactly what she wants now. I love to see that from her.
What are the main things when you're coming off the bench in a game? Like, if you're, before your first stint, looking at, or you're trying to, take away certain things to be like, okay, when I come in the game, I have to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. At first when I got here, I tried to think about, like, statistically what I should do to make a difference. And I think it just all comes from having a spark off of the bench and giving effort, because the rest of the stuff truly just comes. And then once you have that spark, you can just see how the rest of the team feeds off of it. So I've really just taken that as a role of myself, just to bring the energy and, like, the fight that we need off of the bench. And just, I want it to be like a domino effect for the rest of the team.
I think you mentioned maybe, your individual plus minus is something you maybe look at after the season. Can you feel it on the court when maybe, let's say, you're winning your minutes in a game the team's losing, or the inverse? Like, are you maybe not checking the box score, but, like, aware of how your minutes are going?
Not necessarily during the game. At halftime, I always like to repeat, like, areas that we need to get better at, whether it's, like, turnovers or assists, or if we're not winning on the boards, that's something that I communicate with the girls, or obviously turnovers or whatnot. But the plus and minus, I think, is more so like a feel as well. Like, obviously I can't track it while I'm in the game, but I have those moments where I'm like, okay, we got this group in right now, we're getting stops, and somehow we get the lead back. Like, those are moments where I start to feel it, and then after the game is when I check to see how I did. But yeah, it's just more so of a feel when you're out there.
And as a mobile big, how much adjustment was there in this system, and how does this system specifically complement your game style?
Oh my God, yeah. I feel like it's so freeing. Like, Sandy has always said that, like, she gives us a lot of freedom to kind of just not do what we want, but just to feel comfortable. And like you said, I am mobile, so just sticking me down in the post, which has kind of been my role for a while. I can do it, but I love to, like, kind of be spread out into the wing, like you see, like the Stewies, the Fees, even Asia. She's worked her way to that point as well. So I definitely see my game transition like that as well, and I'm just glad that I have the not only the opportunity but the trust from her to do that. So it feels really good.
A few more. Do you think the level of physicality in the league, or maybe areas in which physicality is applied, has changed over your time in the league? Sandy kind of mentioned that this is some of the most, forceful, like, she's seen night to night play in W.
I feel like it's always kind of been physical since I've played in the league. I've had a lot of busted lips from day one, year one, and I don't think much has changed from year 1 to year 10. I was gonna say something about officiating, but I'm just gonna leave that to the back.
Was
honestly,
not trying to.
Yeah. It's cool. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna let them do their job. But I think we've just always been a physical league, and I'm just glad I'm at a point where I can, weight-wise and, like, strength-wise, keep up with that. Because obviously I have my injuries, so I feel very safe when I'm playing here to be physical.
You've always been really open with us about your injury history
Yeah.
and your rehab process and everything. When you were a free agent, how much do you think about what the performance staff looks like at a team? How heavily did that weigh into your decision? And what kind of reputation does New York have around the league?
I don't think most GMs or staffs look at that as far as like the resources that, you know, players have. And when you think about it, we're actually making it through very well with the limited amount of resources that we have on most teams. So, you know, you can look at that player's history, but you got to see like where are they coming from? Like what have they been doing? What is that strength staff? What are they doing? And are those injuries prominent throughout the rest of the team? And if that's the case, I think you have to think about it, because I've been on a lot of teams like that. Not to blame anyone on the staff, but yeah, I think it's a lot of moving pieces that have to work together to make really strong and elite players, and that's exactly what New York does. Like, I see them meeting almost every day about each player individually, what we need to do to bring something different or to continuously bring the same work that we've been having. And it's just like the constant communication for me. Like, again, all I have to do is worry about playing basketball, and they take care of theirs. In the past, it just has not been that, and it's probably because of the lack of resources and like teams just not being able to pay people enough to do the jobs. You have some people on staff doing 2 jobs that should be doing that. I had that case last year, and I think they do it because they love it and they love us as players, but it's just not fair to them to have to take on so much of a load. So yeah, I think everybody gets affected when they're overworked, and I think players most importantly do. So again, here in New York, we have all the pieces that we need, and I'm so happy to be here.
Hey, so JJ made her return last game. Is there anything you were able to pick up from her game that you implement to yours, or
Yeah.
how big is her impact?
I think the JJ 3-pointers, like, and how smooth they are, I'm just like, yes, JJ. They look so good. Being able to spread the floor like JJ. I should have said that earlier, but me and Niara talked about this. I think she's such a specific type of player. Nobody else in the W reminds me of JJ but JJ. So to have her back is just like, it's incredible to watch, and I'm happy that she's healthy, and I'm still like making sure she's okay in practice, you know, with her being back. But I think her vocality and her 3-point shooting is something that I want to make that consistent in my game as well.